Hi guys, welcome to Weekend Dev Challenge by CodeChef. So this is Weekend Dev Challenge 36, and in this, every week we'll be giving you developer challenges to improve your skills on coding and to give you an hands-on experience on building real-world projects. So this is Weekend 36, and let's see the problem statement. So the first project in this particular weekend is Encryption Terminal Project. So basically, we will build a Spring Boot backend that acts as a digital coding machine. So basically, whatever the human enters the readable text, it converts that into secret codes, and then secret codes back into readable text. That is encryption, converting from human readable to what do you call secret password, and then from converting decryption, that is converting from password to human readable text is decryption. So we'll be doing both of that. So for this we need three files. One is encryption controller.java, one more is encryption service.java, one more is encryption response.java. So this service is basically the brain behind the entire project, where the encryption and decryption works. This response is used to give back the output whatever after encrypted or decrypted, and this controller is basically like a manager which handles both service and response. So let's begin with controller. So first we have the class, that is encryption controller, and then here we have a private service, that is encryption service, which is private to this particular class. Now we have a constructor injection. So what is this constructor injection? Is basically this particular controller is basically taking the URL from the the website or whatever URL we open, and then it is trying to get that text from that, and then it is trying to encrypt or decrypt it. So basically this encryption controller, this constructor injection, is basically helps us to get the URL from the wherever the location of that particular URL is, and then it helps us to convert that, like take it into text and store it. Now after that we have two mapping, that is one is encrypt and one more is decrypt. All right, so this encrypt, where does this encrypt go, is basically in the encryption service. So here we have encrypt and then followed by decrypt. So these are the two things which we are calling here. Okay, so first for the encrypt, here we check the message, whatever the URL says. If the URL says we have to encrypt something, for example, if we have to encrypt CodeChef is the, let's say, the message which you have to encrypt, and it says encrypt CodeChef. So this encrypt keyword is read here, and then once it is encrypt, we call encryption service.encrypt followed by that message. So this encryption service.encrypt, you can see this is the encryption service.encrypt. So here it is called, and then we have the followed by the message. Now when this is called, it basically starts the process. So the process is here. You can see this is the entire process. I'll explain the process in a few minutes. So then after the process is called, now we have to return it to the user in a JSON format, saying what all we should be give the enter to the user as original text, whatever was there, and then the transform text after encryption or decryption, and then followed by the operation whatever we did, whether we did encryption or whether we did decryption. Now this is for the encryption, so it returns the encryption response, which goes to here, and then returns the the proper JSON format. Similarly, we have one for decryption. Now we'll move to encryption service. So in this encryption service, we'll be using basically we'll be shifting the whatever all the characters by 5. For example, if it is A, if some character is A, then we shift it to 5 places, that is A, B, C, D, E. Now F would be printed for A. Similarly, like that, we'll be printing 5 places forward, 5 characters forward for encryption, and similarly for decryption, whatever if it is F, then we'll be taking it back 5 letters, so we get the original message. All right, so this is basically the shift, that is 5. Now we have the two encryption and decryption. So the input would be text, and then we have the process. So the process is basically, the two parameters for the process are text and shift. So the shift is basically 5. For encryption, it is 5 forward. Now for decryption, what we have to do, we can't do it negative, we can't do it -5. So what we do is basically we take 26 minus whatever the number of this thing is, we have to shift, we'll take that. So basically for in this cases, it will be 21 usually. So if you put something 21 letters forward, you'll get the same letter back, previously 5. For example, if you put some, let me say I have A, then if I go 26 forward, after Z, the next letter is A. Now instead of 26, I go 21. So I'll get the 5 characters before A. So that's how it works. That is decryption. Now after that, again the same thing is here. Now we check if the character is letter. If it is letter, then we we check if it is lower or uppercase. We have to stick to the if it is lower, we have to stick to lowercase. If it is uppercase, we have to stick to uppercase. So then we do that, and then we check if the the character is what do you call letter. If it is letter, then we do the process. If it is not a letter, then we keep it as it is. We keep it as it is and we append it. So basically this numbers and spaces, whatever, or the extra special characters are there, then we just append it to the result, that particular character. We don't do much change for that, and then we convert the entire result to string. So then we have the encryption response Java dot Java. So this encryption response is basically we have the three things. What is original text, transform text, and operation. So again we have the constructor saying original text. We all know the constructor how it works, and then we have the getters and setters. This is important. So basically we return the original text first, then we return the transform text, and we return the operation. So this is how it works. Let me run the program once. So it has started. So let me encrypt it. You can see this is the encrypted message. For C it is H, for O it is T. And now I'll copy this and then I'll click on decrypt. So you can see we got CodeChef back. So this is how encryption and decryption works. Let me submit the program. I hope you guys have understood something from this. So yeah, the test cases are fast, and that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.